Hello.
Good afternoon. May I have your name, please?
Yes, my name is Joseph Ryder.
Good afternoon. Mr. Ryder, we are on the record in case number
Oh, this is Court with Chrissy's fault.
4-2929SM. And sir, you're appearing for arraignment purposes this afternoon. You're appearing with Ms. Mistely, the defense attorney available through the indigent defense counsel here to assist you. Mr. Olson from the prosecutor's office is here as well. And Ms. Mistely, did you have opportunity to review allegations on the complaint, nature of the offense, and the possible maximum penalties with Mr. Ryder?
I did, and we will waive a formal reading of the misdemeanor complaint and a plea of not guilty, and at this time he intends to represent himself.
Mr. Ryder, the next step in the process is a pretrial conference. In this case, it would be scheduled for November 12th. Once again, you are going to represent yourself, is that correct?
At this time, I do not have anybody representing me, no.
Well, I understand that, and I'm certain that Ms. Mistely went over the options with you to hire your own attorney, or if you do not have money to hire an attorney, to request that the court appoint one for you.
Yeah, was that a question?
That I'm asking, did Ms. Mistely go over those options with you? You're aware of those options?
Yes, she did. Sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, no worries. And so you don't want to hire your own attorney. Do you want to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney?
I mean, if you're asking for an honest answer, I really can't even believe this is happening to me, and why it's even in courtroom, wasting your time and my time and his time and her time.
Okay, Mr. Ryder, you don't want to talk about the underlying, it's just not in your best interest, especially with the prosecutor sitting here. She just wants to know about.
I may change it to have representation, yes.
Okay, so you do wish to request assigned counsel?
Yeah. Well, it goes by financial, right? I don't know what my finances are yet. It's hard to determine this and answer this question without being able to look at my finances.
Well, we could go through the petition. I could ask you those questions to see if the court believes that you would qualify, if you would be considered indigent.
Okay. Well, I consider myself indigent, but I don't know what the court would decide. No.
Okay, well, if you wish to request a court-appointed attorney, I would ask that you raise your right hand, please. And you swear that the information you're about to give me will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, and you're welcome to lower your hand. Mr. Ryder, what is your phone number and what is your mailing address? Do you use an email address, electronic mail? At the address on Travers Road, are you renting, purchasing the home, or living with others?
Bought the property, building a home.
Are you currently employed?
Yes, I own my own business, professional applications, siding and painting company.
And as you are self-employed, what is your average take-home pay per month?
Per month, average, I would say 3,000, maybe.
Do you own a vehicle?
No.
Do you have any money in a checking account, savings account, any cash on hand, or any digital currency? And by that, I mean money enough to hire an attorney.
No.
Okay, so you don't have any money in a checking account, no cash on hand, no money in a savings account, is that right?
I might have $300 in checking account.
So I will appoint
Dude, this is nothing. Relax. Just try to go to Australia and you'll see what a real questioning is.
an attorney for you. The next step in the process is a pretrial conference. In this case, it would be scheduled for November 19th. It's at 9:30 a.m. It's an in-person appearance here at the district court.
Okay.
Ms. Misterly, is there information that you would like me to know regarding bond?
There is. So Mr. Ryder was born and raised in this area. All of his family are still here. As he just told you, he does have his own business. He's been operational for about the last 3 years. He currently has several projects underway. One up off of Bunker Hill Road and another new subdivision over by the Pit Spitters Stadium. He does not consume alcohol. He has not done so in 5 years. He's, as he also told you, he does own his property.
Oh, yes, that's Pit Spitter Stadium, referring to spitting cherry pits. Yo, Traverse City.
Out in Thompsonville. He's in the process of building his own home there. We are asking the court to, well, he also has no prior felony convictions, no other cases pending. He is not on probation or parole. We are asking for release on a PR bond.
They did not want to contract with me, and they made that clear in no uncertain terms.
Thank you. And for the people, Mr. Olson, do you have information you'd like the court to know regarding bond?
Yes, Your Honor. First, I'd proffer some of the underlying information that we have according to the police reports. This is a stalking charge. It involves, according to the complaining witness, as well as the trooper, that the defendant was advised not to have any further contact with the victim by a Michigan State trooper, and despite that, continued to have ongoing contact that was unwanted towards the victim. These contacts included attempts to call her, drive-bys by her residence in a red F-150 pickup truck, and as well as text messages. The defendant was interviewed by the Michigan State Police after these continuing contacts occurred. He indicated that he was aware that he was supposed to not have any more contact, but he was looking for closure, and admitted to continuing to have contact with her despite being advised not to have any further contact by the Michigan State Police. The victim has reported that she is fearful of the defendant, that he's combative, that he's explosive, and based on the physical nature of the drive-bys towards her residence, the people would ask for a cash bond in this case. We think a GPS tether is appropriate. This is not a case where there's arguably a dispute that when was the defendant notified that this contact was unwanted, and in what fashion. We have a law enforcement officer that made that notification, and despite that, the defendant continued to have contact with the victim. So for those reasons, we think a GPS tether would be appropriate in this case.
Mr. Ryder, you don't want to say anything, okay? Please trust me on that. That's okay. That's all right.
And lastly, Your Honor, we would ask for the no contact order to include no contact with the victim, either directly or indirectly, obviously no electronic contact, and for that no contact order to be immediately ordered as opposed to only upon release. Thank you.
Is that you, Andrew?
So the allegations are serious in nature as far as the alleged threat to the safety of a named victim. You don't have a criminal history as far as felony convictions are concerned. You do, however, have some prior convictions, criminal convictions. It does certainly concern the court that after having been officially notified by a police officer, state trooper, to not have contact, you, in fact, it's alleged, continued to have contact. And it's also alleged that contact through another person that you've requested. So your bond in this case, I'm going to place you on a $10,000, 10% bond. Conditions on the bond are that you may not use nor possess any alcohol, any illegal substance, any controlled substance, including marijuana, any mind or mood altering substances, or any non-prescribed medication, that you would provide a list
Not a
of your
bad
current
idea,
prescriptions
actually.
to the district court clerk, that you would submit to discretionary testing whenever requested by a police officer or any court personnel, so you may not refuse. You will have no contact in any manner whatsoever with Mary K. Van Wagner.
That would have been
means
easier.
No phone calls, no messages through other people, no text messages. You may not use any social media, nor through any other person or any other way have contact with Miss Van Wagner. You will stay 500 yards or more away from her. You may not be at any address that she is or may be. You may not use nor possess any weapons of any sort, nor use any object as a weapon. You'll have no threatening, intimidating, harassing, or violent behavior towards any person, and you'll be respectful of all court employees and care providers during the course of your case. You will be placed on a GPS tether supervised by Community Corrections Pretrial Services. You will be placed on home arrest supervised by Community Corrections. The release from home arrest would allow you to work at verified work site.
In fairness, I wasn't. Their application process was too onerous for me to bother with. I didn't have time to do it before I got on the plane.
You will have an exclusion zone or zones where you cannot go. And those are intended to protect the alleged victim. You may not be released from jail until Community Corrections has placed that GPS tether on you. And so from this moment forward, no contact means exactly that, no contact. So even though you're in jail and are not able to be released at this moment, you may have no contact beginning now.
And you feel this is fair? You feel you've heard enough?
That is what the bond conditions are. Ms. Mistley, do you have any questions, ma'am?
So you've heard enough.
Mr. Ryder, you can take up this issue further with your assigned attorney as we discussed earlier.
Yeah, stop talking about your case, please.
I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you,
I'd like to
Mr.
make a
Olson. Do you have
statement.
anything further?
Nothing for the people, Your Honor.
Thank you. So you will hear from your court-appointed attorney by the middle of next week. That person may call.
I have something to say, Your Honor.
It's to your benefit to say nothing, sir.
Right. Yeah, that's nice. No priors whatsoever. And this is what you deem fair.
Mr. Ryder, I can only strongly urge you to stop. Talk to your attorney.
I'm being respectful. I am being respectful. I'm not being disrespectful. I know my rights. This is unlawful, really.
Which is number one, wrong.
I think we're done, Your Honor.
Okay, this woman that you're heard enough about,
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that you mute the defendant
she
for his
pushed
own
me. She pushed me,
protection.
and I called the police. I called the police.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm not certain how to let the officers know there that we're all set, but
Oh,
he
he's still
should
going.
be out of the room. Pardon me? Oh, okay. Would you please ask the police officers to come into the room? The court heard the first part of what you had to say. I am very concerned about your behavior right now, Mr. Ryder. You certainly are not doing yourself any favors. It may be indicative that the monetary amount is not high enough.
Your Honor, the people would move to amend the bond. Given his behavior right now in open court, I don't think there's any assurance that the defendant's going to abide by any of the conditions other than perhaps the GPS tether that would be required to be placed on him before he's released.
Yeah, I'm very, very concerned. So even though he has stepped out, I'm going to amend the bond to 50,000, 10%, with the same terms and conditions. Mr. Olson, anything further? Ms. Mr. Lee, anything further?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Boy, I'm just getting railroaded here.
Well, that was fun. He just couldn't close his yap. He actually talks Judge Sunday school teacher into jacking up his bond by a factor of 5. Literally, all the conditions are leave this woman alone. Just leave. There's one woman in the world. You need to leave her alone. If that's too much for you, then that's the way. That's the way it's got to be. One person on the planet, you just need to leave them the hell alone. That's all. You're going to argue with a judge about it in open court. Okay. You're going to sit in jail a while longer and lose a bunch of money on your projects. That's how it goes. All right. Just a quickie. Thanks for coming out. Happy Halloween. I'll see y'all soon.